You remember that Nashville fertility clinic that just kind of closed out of nowhere? So the clinic that has been shut down since April has been in possession of all these embryos, and these families are trying to get them transferred to places where they can actually continue their fertility journey.
The court appointed a receiver to take over the practice and safeguard likely hundreds of embryos at the clinic.
The fertility clinic that accepted that tissue, from what I've learned, still has their work cut out for them.
TFI just took in the precious embryos, eggs, and sperm that belong to CRH patients.
Our team is actively doing an inventory of the material, and we're cross-checking that then with the records that we have access to through CRH.
Which would be fine in most cases, but for some people who are already working with a different fertility clinic, that means that these embryos will travel not once, but twice. Now, I don't know too much about that process, but I can only imagine moving these embryos back and forth between different places is probably not a good thing. Again, I don't know for sure, but one would imagine.
I think they really walked into just a huge mess of unorganized chaos.
The CRH lab was said to be very disorganized and decades out of date. Mary paid and was scheduled for an embryo transfer at the end of April.
We didn't get the justice of like a true experience of going through IVF and really getting the proper care that we needed.
You used the word scammed.
Yeah, we were scammed, absolutely.
News Channel 5 investigative reporter Jennifer Krause started digging into this fertility clinic. And that's when we found that one of the people who was actually in charge of doing these fertility operations wasn't even a licensed doctor in the state of Tennessee.
The abrupt closure eventually led the Tennessee Attorney General to sue the director of the clinic, Dr. Jaime Vasquez.
We heard from several patients across the state who said that they spent thousands of dollars on fertility operations with nothing to show for it.
What we did not get is a medical procedure done by a medical doctor. And nothing else matters.
It is hard.
This is already such a stressful situation for so many of these people.
I mean, when you hear these patients say, I feel like I was duped. I feel like I was convinced that this person knew what they were doing, when in reality they weren't even a licensed doctor in the state. It doesn't feel right.
What was once a scary situation where nobody was really sure what was going to happen, it's now in a controlled environment, and that should give them hopefully some comfort.